So this will be a yin class to release the upper body and neck. It's really great if you sit at a desk a lot and are maybe hunched over often, or drive or anything like that, where you might be craned forward or develop stiffness in the neck or shoulders. It's great to have both a block and a bolster. If you don't have those props, you can use folded up blankets, pillows, a big book, or something like that. That will work as well. So when you're ready, finding a comfortable seat on your mat, you can sit up on something like a blanket or a block as well if that feels better. And we'll just settle into the practice. Imagining your attention drawing back towards yourself. If your attention was out in the world or with people or on a screen or something like that, just imagine pulling all those tendrils of your attention back to you, back to the periphery of this mat. Feeling how your breath moves your body. And you can keep your eyes closed or open them, and we'll just do some seated, gentle cat-cow. So arching the back and looking up towards the ceiling. On an inhale, and then on an exhale, rounding the spine and looking towards the ground. And again, inhaling, arching the spine and looking up. And rounding the spine, looking down. Kind of pivoting and rotating on the pelvis. We'll take a couple more rounds here. Once you complete the next rotation, coming back to center and uprightness. And we'll drop the right ear to the right shoulder, only as much as feels gentle and not too much of a strain. Feeling length in the left side of the neck. And on each exhale, letting the shoulders drop a little bit more. And giving the side of the neck a couple minutes to really release and open. Taking one more deep breath here. And then slowly pointing the nose down towards the ground. Still at this angle with the right ear over the right shoulder, but now looking down. We'll hold this for a moment. And on your next exhale, tilting the chin up towards the sky, however much feels good. And then moving with your breath, looking down, and then turning the head to look up. Imagine you're kind of wringing out that tissue on the left side of the neck with your breath and your movement. Finishing one more rotation and then ending with the right ear directly over the right shoulder. Bringing the right hand to the right side of the face to help lift the head back upright. You can take some shoulder rolls here to release a little bit. We'll take it to the other side, left ear over left shoulder. Feeling into this side. Feeling the length on the right side of the neck. Giving this pose time to do its work and release and open the right side of the neck. Letting the shoulders drop a little bit more on every exhale. Taking one more deep breath here. Turning the nose towards the ground, turning to face down. Still leaning the left ear over the left shoulder, but now looking down. And taking a moment here. And slowly tilting the face up towards the sky. Finding your personal edge, so where you feel a nice stretch, but it doesn't feel like a strain or you don't feel any pain. And just staying at that edge and breathing. Now moving with the breath at your own pace, looking down towards the ground, and then rotating the face up towards the sky. Moving back and forth here. Finishing with the rotation that you're on and coming back to left ear directly over left shoulder. Bringing the left hand to the left side of the face to help slowly lift the head back up to upright. You can roll the shoulders out here a little bit. And then turning the face over the right shoulder as far as feels good. Looking past the right shoulder. And then turning the face over the left shoulder. Breathing deeply into the neck here. And returning to center, we'll come onto our backs and grab a block or book. You can also have your bolster somewhat handy. We'll need that in a few minutes. So coming to lie on your back with your feet flat on the ground, knees pointing up to the sky. And taking a moment here to feel this new position. And you'll take your block or book and we'll have it at an angle, so it'll be balancing on one corner. And then we'll have the upper corner nestled right between the top of the neck and the bottom of the skull. So it might take a moment to get the position right where you feel like you can lean into the block and balance here. But yeah, having one corner anchored on the ground and wedging the upper corner right in that groove between the base of the skull and the top of the neck, the occiput. And we'll do some myofascial release along this meridian, this line here. So getting settled, feeling the ridge of the block right at the base of the skull, centered on the spine. And taking deep breaths into this pressure. And every exhale, letting the shoulders drop away a bit more. Can have hands on the belly or arms on the floor out long. And with the head supported, just really letting the shoulders melt away. Reminding them that they don't have to be engaged, they don't have to hold tension right now. And we'll now turn to look towards the left, so you might have to hold the block to do this move, but turning your face to look left so that the ridge of the block is now kind of right under the ear, still finding that space at the base of the skull, but now kind of right under the left ear. And there should be a bit of sensation here. There might be a lot of sensation, and just finding whatever spot feels good for you that you feel like you can breathe into for a moment. And we'll just be here for a minute, and then we'll slowly work our way back towards the spine, the center line. Just staying here on the far left side for a moment. Taking deep breaths into this spot on the neck and into the face, letting the muscles of the face relax, softening the muscles around the eyes and the eyebrows, forehead. Taking one more deep breath here and then moving about an inch towards center and finding the next kind of juicy spot. A spot that feels interesting where there's sensation that you can breathe into. And we'll be with this spot for another minute. Every exhale, seeing if you can soften the face a little bit more. Releasing the jaw. Maybe parting the lips. And slowly moving one more inch towards center and finding another spot. And taking deep breaths into the neck. And moving one more inch towards center, and now we should be about back at center, centered over the spine. Feeling the difference in the right and left side. Maybe feeling any differences in how the shoulders feel as well, how the face feels. And then we'll move to the right side, so turning the face all the way towards the right. And finding that spot just below the right ear. And we'll be here for a minute, breathing into this point. And again, softening the face, softening the eyes. Taking one more deep breath on this point and then moving 1 inch towards center. It can be interesting to notice if when you first land on a new point, if there's a lot of sensation and how that sensation changes as you stay with it. If it softens, if it goes away completely. As you relax the eyes, imagining moving your attention from in front of you, where we're often looking out at the world, looking at a screen, and moving that attention towards the back of the eyes, the middle of the head. Moving to a more diffuse attention instead of a more targeted outward attention. And taking one more deep breath on this spot. And moving one more inch towards center. And finding a new spot to breathe into. And in your own time, moving one more inch so you're back centered over the spine. You can roll the head a little bit left and right if that feels good. And eventually finding stillness. And bringing one hand to the nape of the neck under the head as you slide the block out. So keeping the head supported with one hand while you remove the block. Slowly bringing the head to the ground. And just resting here for a moment, feeling the neck and shoulders. So we're going to grab our bolster now, and you'll want to keep the block handy as well. We're going to bring the bolster horizontal to the mat, maybe about 3/4 of the way from the top. And then bringing the block maybe on the low setting, but you can adjust once we get into the pose to see which height is right for you. And having the bolster and block maybe about 1 foot apart. And again, we can adjust once we get into the pose. And you'll come to sit with your sacrum maybe 1/2 foot in front of the block. We'll come to lie over the bolster. So we want the lower shoulder blades to be kind of hitting the midline of the bolster. Imagine if you're someone who wears a bra, the bra strap is kind of centered on the bolster. And then the head will come to rest on the block. So we're kind of creating this little gap for our shoulders to fall into. And legs can be in butterfly or out long, whatever feels good. Or feet flat on the floor. Arms are out wide in a T shape. We're just feeling this opening across the chest. Feeling the weight of the shoulders as they fall towards the ground. We'll be here for a couple of moments, just letting the shoulders melt down and release. And taking deep breaths into the chest, feeling the expansion and uplift on the inhale, and then feeling the softening and melting on the exhale. And taking one more breath here. And slowly bringing your feet flat to the ground, knees up towards the sky. And we'll kind of shimmy our tailbone and feet to the left side of the mat, dropping the knees to the right in a twist. And we'll bring the right hand across to meet the left, or opposite. Left hand across to meet the right. And you can kind of sit up and readjust a bit so that your side body, your side waist, is now draped over the bolster. The right side of your face is on the block, resting. And you can take the right arm up above the head, draped over the head. And a nice side body stretch here. Breathing into the right side of the body. Taking one more deep breath here. And then expanding the left arm out wide again, so you're in a twist. Knees are still pointing towards the right. The arms are in a T, faces facing the sky. Taking deep breaths into the twist of the abdomen here and the spine. Feeling the shoulders, maybe especially the left shoulder opening here. And then in your own time, we'll take it to the other side. So you can come up to seated to readjust, and then bringing the knees to the left, draping the left side body over the bolster. Arms are out in a T, and then you can bring the right arm up and over the head as the left side of the face rests on the block. Feeling that stretch along the right side of the body. Taking one more deep breath here. And then opening the right arm out to the side so the arms are back in a T shape. Facing upward at the face. And feeling that twist across the upper body through the spine. Feeling that stretch in the right shoulder in front of the right chest. Taking one more deep breath here. And slowly rolling back onto the left side of the body. And using your right hand and arm to push yourself back to upright. And we'll come back to a seated position. Again, you can sit up on something if that feels good. And for this next movement, I like to be in a position where I'm sitting back on my heels like this versus cross-legged, but you can see what feels good to you. We're going to finish with a slightly more dynamic twisting movement. So sitting upright, noticing how the body feels after those poses. And bringing the hands, the fingertips, to each shoulder. So you're kind of making a wing shape with your arms. And we'll slowly start to rotate back and forth. So turning the whole torso to the right, rotating to turn the whole torso to the left. Maybe looking back over each shoulder with the face. Taking it really easy here, just doing as much as feels good, not forcing it. And in your own time, you can start to speed this up a little bit and find a little momentum, just twisting back and forth, letting the face follow. And you can sync this up with the breath, finding an in-breath on one side and an exhale on the other. Taking this back and forth at whatever speed feels good for your body. We'll be here for one more moment, just finding a nice rhythm here. Feeling that mobilization of the thoracic and upper spine, really the whole spine. And slowing down the movement. And slowly coming back towards center, maybe resting the hands on the thighs. And moving your attention along the length of the spine, just noticing how it feels, noticing sensation all the way from the tailbone up through the sacrum and the low back, mid-back, upper spine between the shoulder blades, where the spine meets the neck portion of the spine, mid-neck, and the top of the spine where it meets the skull. And just breathing into the full length of the spine. And that's it for this class today. Thanks for joining. I hope your shoulders and neck feel a little more relaxed and soft. Have a great day. Thanks.